crowds. Nobody knew we were coming. I hope the press is going to cover it fairly, because nobody gets crowds like this. They want to see our country be great again. It's very simple. They want to see our country be great. I've been watching you all morning, and you're almost fair.
How are you feeling?
You've been okay, Alexis.
How are you feeling?
Say it.
You have a big crowd here. Are you pretty
No, it's
confident?
I'm very confident. I mean, this is it. Look, we just stopped here. We stopped at a polling site. We picked it at random. We may stop at one more. And nobody knew we were coming. This is pretty amazing.
Mr. President, Haley says that she's staying in through Super Tuesday.
I don't care.
Is she a threat to you?
No, and I don't care if she stays in. Let her do whatever she wants. It doesn't matter. I can just say that there's never been a movement like this. Make America great again. In the history of our country, I just stopped here and I figured I'd see 3 or 4 people and maybe walk inside. And you see a crowd like this, and this is organic. This is organic.
How are you feeling, Mr. President?
Would you consider DeSantis yet?
Yeah, I don't want to comment on that.
Would you consider DeSantis?
He endorsed me. Would I consider him?
Would you ever consider DeSantis?
I just can't comment on that.
Nikki Haley wanted it to be a 2-person race, right? I mean, she got that. Do you think?
When they looked at the polling. So I have 100%, a lot of delegates, big state. And then I go to South Carolina and I'm beating her by 60 points. So I just don't know. I mean, that's up to her. I would never ask anybody to pull out. I didn't ask Ron to pull out. I didn't ask Vivek to pull out. Nobody. But we have great support, and most of the people that pulled out have already supported me. So it's actually quite nice. But I'm very honored by this. You know, we expected to come here, and who would think you'd have a crowd like this? Thank you, everybody.
President Trump, what's your message to the American people on the injustice that you're experiencing and the big concern that the election, they try to steal it again in 2024?
Well, we're going to be watching very closely. I very much appreciate that question, because it's a very important question, more important than most people would understand. We have to make sure we have honest, fair, and free elections and strong borders. If we don't have borders and elections, we don't have a country. And you see what's going on with the border. There's never been anything like it on the border. Millions and millions of people are pouring into our country illegally, and many come from prisons, they come from jails, they're terrorists. Nobody's ever seen it. They come from, by the way, I saw a report this morning, they're coming in from mental institutions all over the world. They're pouring in, and it makes sense. Why would somebody running a country where it costs so much money, why would they keep the people? They're dumping them into our country. Mental institutions, jails and prisons, they're coming into our country, and a lot of terrorists are coming in. This is really bad. I heard somebody yesterday say 100% happened to be Sean Hannity. Did you ever hear of Sean Hannity? He said 100% certain that there'll be some horrible acts, terror acts, and that's the answer. It's 100%. It's 100%. The people coming into our country, it's 100% certain. And we have to have fair elections. Thank you for that.
The northern border is a huge deal here. We talk all the time about Equal Pass Texas, what's going on at the southern border. It's a huge issue here, the northern border.
Oh, the northern border is bad too. It's getting bad. I mean, it's getting bad. But now it's lightening up because it's so easy. They don't have to come here. It is. You have to watch both borders, and you have to watch fly-ins. You have to watch everything. But the southern border is like nobody's ever seen. But the northern border is bad too. They have done a terrible job. This is one of the worst things. I believe it's one of the worst tragedies ever to befall our country. I really do. I think it's one of the great tragedies in the history of our country, what they've done. Either they're very stupid, which I don't believe they are, or they hate our country. It's very simple. It can be nothing else. They're very stupid or they hate our country. To allow millions of people to come into our country totally unchecked, totally unvetted, it's not even believable. And it's the biggest issue now. You know, the economy was big and inflation was big. It's all big. But this, I think the border issue now is the biggest. We had the greatest border, the safest border in recorded history. In recorded history. And that was 3 years ago. Now we have the worst. The worst. I think we have the worst border anywhere in the world. I don't think any country, a third world country, never had a border like this.
For people that might not have their mind made up tonight or today going to those polls, they might be deciding between you and Nikki Haley still. What would you want to tell those voters?
Well, look, if they want a great country, if they want a country where we say, make America great again, there's nothing like it. Make America great again. That's all you have to say. We are making America great. We had we had this going so well. And look at the world. The world is blowing up too. We had no wars. Russia would have never invaded Ukraine. Nothing, all of this. Israel would have never been attacked. Never. Remember this. Iran was broke. They had no money. You know why they had no money? Because I said to other countries, you can't deal with them until we make a deal. And we would have had a deal within 2 weeks after the election with Iran. Iran is spreading money all over, and look at what's happening. We're bombing the Middle East again. Now we're going back into the Middle East. We're bombing the hell out of the Middle East, and it's having no impact. You know why? Because they don't respect Biden. They don't respect him. They no longer respect our country. If you look at what Viktor Orban, the Prime Minister of Hungary, said, he said, bring Trump back. Everything worked when Trump was there. So I appreciate the turnout. Thank you very much, everybody.
Did your attacks on Haley go too far, misspelling her name, suggesting that she could?
No. I don't think it goes too far. I mean, they say a lot of things that are wrong. They have the wacko governor up here who ran for president, but he didn't have the courage to say he was running. You know, you had Sununu. He was running for president for months. He was getting Asa Hutchinson type numbers, which are very low, and then he never had the guts to say. So, you know, they just give so much false information. It's very sad.
The other candidates that said stuff about you, like you kind of went back and forth, right, for months about Ron DeSantis. Now you're calling DeSantis, DeSantis. You kind of, you know, once it's done and they drop out and they get behind you, do you forgive those people, or are you kind of still
I try
mad?
to. I do. I'm a very forgiving person. Okay? I try. You're doing a good job. Thank you, everybody.
We talked about trying to unify the party. How do you bring these Nikki Haley voters, some of who voted for you in 2020 but say they don't want to now?
Oh, they'll all vote for me.
How do you
again.
bring them back into the tent?
They're going to all vote for me again. They're going to all vote for me again, everybody. And I'm not sure we need too many. I'm not sure. I think that Biden is the worst president in the history of this country. But we're going to all come back. They're all coming back. And I think you see that here. I think you see. Thank you, everybody. They can all be back.
Mr. President, what does a win look like for you?
What?
What does a win look like for you?
Well, we had a great night in just recently, as you know, in Iowa. That was a great night. You know, nobody had any anticipation of that kind of a victory in Iowa last week, and I think you could have something like that. Who knows? You do have a wild card here. You have people that could vote that aren't Republicans. What's that all about? I mean, nobody ever saw anything like that. But I love this state. We've done well here before. In 2016, I came here. I sort of needed a victory, and I won by 21 points. So I love New Hampshire, and they love me, and we're going to get their energy costs down. You know, they have the highest energy costs in the entire nation, and we're going to get their energy down 50% in 1 year. That's my promise to New Hampshire. Have a good time, everybody.
Where are you going next? Are you going somewhere else?
Yeah, we're going to make a couple of stops, and then I'm going to go and watch you on television. Okay? I'm going to watch you decimate me on television.
Okay.
To say the crowd wasn't here. Can you imagine? I actually had one reporter. Were you at the ice hockey arena the other night? It set a record. And I had a reporter said, the crowd was okay. It was okay. No, we've had, I think, more enthusiasm than even the other two races. And we did very well.
What's the biggest threat to America? Is it the leftist communists? Is it the rhino Republicans that stab you in the back? Or is it
I actually think it's a
media?
very fair question. I actually think the radical left is a tremendous threat to our country. And I think the rhino Republicans are just stupid people. But the radical left is a major threat to our country. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
The VP question, would you consider DeSantis in your cabinet?
Okay, guys, back. I need you back.
I was just going to say I'm the last response. So nice to see you. Thank you very
I'm not going anywhere.
Anybody comes to mind like
Yes. Let's hear it.